Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Good Saturday morning, everybody. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. We're broadcasting from the beautiful ESPN 92.9 studios, 680 AM Sports Radio in Memphis, Tennessee. Go Grizz tonight against the Lakers, and in the spirit of Dylan Brooks and LeBron James, here's another old man, our host, Larry Ray.
Oh, he got you there.
Oh, no.
I've been thinking about that all show.
Now they're celebrating over there, you know. Okay, picking on the old guy, you know. Are you through, or are you still?
I'm through, Larry.
You're through. Okay,
yeah,
I thought there might be some more. You know, you didn't do without further ado. You know?
I did, but I figured the transition was better if I just
with
went
old,
straight to the
the
line. So.
Well, from one old guy to another. No, I know. I don't mean that. No. It's good to be in young company all the time. You know, it's fun. It's hard to find somebody my age. Most of them are gone, but you know. All right, Frank Barton, now you've had your laugh and hand slapping and everything, Dylan Brooks impersonation, but here I was going to be really straight. But this Frank is I don't know how you know. I know you great grandfather Captain Barton.
Lieutenant.
Well, I just gave him. He's a captain now. Okay, I gave him that
promotion.
But was part of the Sultana disaster that happened in 18 what, Frank?
April 27th, 1865.
Okay,
5 days from today.
All right, 5 days from today, the anniversary. That would make it 100 and let's see, how much does that be?
158.
158 years. The disaster itself, there's a discrepancy on how many lives it took, but it was over 1,000. We know, Frank, right? I mean, and your great-grandfather, great, how many greats? I can't remember. You just told me, but I'm old, you know. But you've taken it upon this yourself, Frank, every year at this time to really spend some time on this. Let's talk about your passion for this and what's going on over in Marion and that area for us to keep this memory of this tragic event alive.
It happened when a local attorney, Jerry Potter from Memphis, wrote a book about the Sultana disaster. And a friend of mine found me and said, Frank, you need to read this book. He's written about some of your people. I know that the Frank Barton in that book is related to you. And so I did. And
how long ago was that?
That's been 20 some odd years ago.
Okay, all right.
And what I found out in the book was, if you don't know the Sultana disaster, it's America's greatest maritime disaster. Happened just a few miles north of Memphis on April 27th, 1865, where the steamship Sultana, carrying somewhere between 2,200 and 2,500 former Union prisoners of war, carrying them back home up to Cairo, Illinois.
On a boat that was supposed to be having
legal carrying capacity of 376. So the boat blew up just a few miles north of Memphis, and during when these people were in the water, and some people on the Arkansas side had seen it, and they went about trying to rescue those folks. One of those people, I found out, was my great-great-grandfather. It's a story that was never passed down in my family. Did not know. Nobody in my family knew anything about it.
Really? Yeah.
Until Jerry Potter wrote his book, and we found out about it. And so that sent me on a journey, not only to learn more about the Sultana, but learn more about my great-great-grandfather and the role that he played in it. And, you know, in my research, I learned that he had been in the Confederate Army as an unattached Confederate unit, and that's a code word for guerrilla.
Guerrilla, yeah, guerrilla.
So he was on the Arkansas side, and just months earlier had been participating in raiding Union shipping going up and down the river. And then the war came to an end, and the boat blew up, and he goes out and starts rescuing these people.
Union soldiers, yeah.
Right, these Union soldiers. And he wasn't the only one. He married a woman named Alice Fogelman, and the Fogelman family is also from Crittenden County in the Marion area.
Is that the Fogelman family from Memphis?
No, they spell it differently.
Okay. All right.
But anyway, and so the Fogelmans also rescued a bunch of people. America's greatest maritime disaster. We'll never know how many people died because the records were just sloppy in how they kept.
Oh yeah.
But somewhere between 1,200 and 1,500 people perished.
Wow. Yeah.
In the event, and so.
But some were rescued.
Right, and some were rescued. So there is a group of us that are on the board of the Sultana Historical Preservation Society.
Mm-hmm.
We call it SHIPS for short.
SHIPS, okay.
So we have started about 2 years ago. We started a fundraising effort, a capital funds drive, to raise enough money to build a permanent museum to commemorate the disaster and tell the story of these soldiers, because there's the only monuments that are built around the country, and there's some various places.
Yeah.
None of those were built with any kind of federal money or anything like that. It's all private donation.
Uh-huh.
This country forgot these men.
Yeah.
They forgot it because Abraham Lincoln had just been assassinated. John Wilkes Booth had just been shot.
Uh-huh. So it just fell by the wayside.
Those were the stories of the day. Nobody wanted to know anything. All the newspapers, for the most part, were in the Northeast.
Mm-hmm.
And the country was tired of war, and the reality of it was a bunch of people dying in a boating accident was just not important to this country. So we believe it is.
Yes.
And
sure.
So we're going to build a really nice museum. It'll be a destination place. We're expecting 50,000 people a year to come to Marion.
You have the site.
And,
it's already.
We already have we've already acquired the building. We're rehabbing it right now.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have bid letting in about 30 days.
Okay.
And we hope in a little less than 2 years we'll have it constructed and open. So
this is a big project.
It is. Our capital drive is
how much?
$10 million.
$10 million. Okay.
And we are in the final stages of it. We have a $1 million challenge grant from the Federal Express Corporation.
Right.
We're a little over $9 million right now. And
you're close.
If we get, a little under $9 million.
Okay.
If we get to 9, FedEx has pledged $1 million for it. So we are stroking as hard as we can to get that. But it's a story. It's amazing. It's got everything that you would think about. It's got greed. It's got the challenges of a rescue on the water, and there's been a documentary made, and it's a wonderful documentary, but there's never been a full budget movie like you think about. And everyone knows about Titanic.
Yeah, right.
And more people died in the Sultana disaster than died in the Titanic disaster.
Yeah, right. So you're trying to bring this story to life and make it a destination stop in Marion for people to know exactly what happened. There was so much. Somebody blames somebody. Blames were everywhere in this, and you've been able to post this on Facebook, which I think is remarkable what you've done and the time that I know you've invested in this, because
that started about I think I'm in probably year 8 or 10, somewhere around there when I started doing that.
Yeah.
And
in response,
I just started doing it. I said, well, I'm going to see if I'll tell a little bit of the Sultana story each day. And so and it sort of built, and now it's turned. It's about 3 weeks worth of posting. And what right now we're following the last voyage of the Sultana.
Yeah,
and
coming up the river.
Where it's coming up the river right now.
Yeah.
It's not in Memphis yet. It's in actually today. It's in Vicksburg.
Yeah.
And
that's where the story involves so much of the river and the history. And these men had been in prison, and now they're going home. They thought
prison camps.
Yeah,
you know them. Andersonville, Cahaba, and that's the story, all of it in of itself.
It sounds like a movie to me.
About what took place in those camps.
Yeah.
And they were, at the war's conclusion, they were sent to Vicksburg and to board various ships.
Go home.
Boats to come, not boats, ships. They're boats on the river.
Yeah.
Boats come up river.
Paddle wheelers.
The story of Sultana was the boat got overloaded because a Union officer in Vicksburg accepted a bribe to put more people on the boat than what should have been.
Well, just read Jerry Potter's book and then follow Frank's book, really, because Frank has picked up this and gone. And like I say, next Saturday, whenever that you got a fundraiser.
The
27th, I think.
27th out at Mound City. Go to the Sultana Facebook page, and you'll find the information about it.
That's it. Yeah.
And just we would love to have your help and participation.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful cause and a tragic story that can still vibrates in the Mid-South area here. Frank Barton, thank you, buddy. I wanted you to spend some time on
Thanks
that
for
today,
the opportunity
to do that. So let's take a break. We're going to come back and we're going to get on the trail, I hope, of a brand new trail that's opening up today up in Brownsville called the Rock and Roll Apache Trail. We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.